Hey everyone, I hope this works this time. This is a second attempt at going live. Let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. I keep trying all different kinds of technology, and just when I think I got the internet connection down and everything's great with that, it's the microphone. Go figure. And this is my podcasting microphone. So I'm just really I don't know. I'm just wondering why it's an issue. So, hey, can you hear me, Jana? Is it staticky? Is it better? It's weird because this is my podcasting microphone, and it's not the microphone; it's the connection. Yay! So Jana, yay means yes. Like I sound okay. Okay. Bingo says yo. Awesome. Woohoo! Everybody's back. Yeah, you sound great. Yay. I mean, that's what it is. The connection. It's just, I don't know what. Awesome. Great. Yay, 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 yay. Awesome. Okay, good. So I will just start over for anyone jumping in now. My name is Kara Warner. So we're only 10 minutes late. No biggie, right? No big deal. My name is Kara Warner, and I'm the host of Power Pearls podcast. And I jump on here every Friday and talk about a mixed bag of things as they pertain to our yarn crafting life. And I'm here to help you move the needle just a little bit further so that you can reach your goals and, get to that destination. And so today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about a cool topic. What really sparked this topic is my current guest, the current guest on Power Pearls podcast, episode 61. Her name is Tara Swiger, and she has a new book called Map Your Business. And I'm going to talk about this book, and I love it. I'm working through this myself and making my own maps. I'm making my own maps. But before we do, I just want to say hello to everybody that has come back into the room. So Jana's here, Christy's here, Jennifer is here, Lynn, another Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer. Sue is here. Yo is here. Awesome. So we got 7 people. I lost, I don't know, maybe about 20 some odd people. I hope they come back. Please come back. So I know that a lot of people are not watching while the broadcast is live. A lot of people come back and watch the replay. So if you're watching the replay, welcome, and I'm so happy that you're here. So a little bit about me. I already did that, and episode 61 is hot on the podcast with Tara Swiger. I keep wanting to say Tara because I'm Kara, she's Tara. No, it's Tara. Tara Swiger. And if you know Tara and you follow her, you know that that's the right way. I don't want to say her name wrong. She's awesome. I love watching her Insta stories. Oh my gosh. If you guys haven't checked her out on Instagram, so at Tara Swiger, you have to check out her stories. They're so much fun. It always feels like you're sort of right there with her, and she makes you feel like you're friends. And the first time I met Tara, was at CraftCon, like face to face. I met her back in February at CraftCon in Columbus, Ohio, and I felt like we knew each other, because I was watching her videos, and I was like, "Yeah, hey, how you doing? We're buddies." So anyway, so Tara is on episode 61 of Power Pearls podcast. So if you guys haven't checked it out, it's fresh, brand new, went live this morning at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk about her book. We talk about her other, her evolution really, and how she started in the fiber world. And, Tara is a mentor. She's a marketing expert. She works with creatives that are in the middle, as she calls it, the middle of their career, or let's just say after they've already started. They know what their product is and they've gotten clear. And that was what sparked the topic for today, because I want to talk about that. I want to talk about how we can kind of get caught up in, the marketing and the pretty Etsy shop, the online shop. And we're like, yeah, I'm making patterns, or, I'm making these cool things, but we're not really clear about what it is that we want. Oh, hey, Melanie, nice to see you. I'm glad I'm sounding better. I think I just had to shut things down and come back. Unfortunately, that's just how technology is. So anyway, what I was saying is, we can really get excited about the online shop and marketing, whatever it is that we want to do. We think we know what we want, but a lot of times we're not really clear on the product on the core product. And so you can't have the chicken before the egg, right? And a lot of the times we want it. I mean, I know I do sometimes, or you subconsciously do that. You don't realize, you think, wait a minute, I don't really have a product. And so, you just need to get clear. You need to get clear on that. And that's something that, I've been working with people recently on that particular kind of topic, because yes, they've been taking classes with people out there that are they're great marketing gurus, and even Tara, but Tara even says, don't buy my book. Don't, invest in anything until you watch one of listen to one of my podcasts, watch an Insta story, figure out, if this is right for you, but also make sure that, that it's right for you, because where are you in your business, So getting clear, and that's something I'll talk about in a little bit, getting clear on what your product is, the real core product. So for example, since we're knitters, most of us watching, I say yarn crafters now because, there are a lot of, crocheters are coming into the mix. But as knitters and crocheters, we, what is our product? If you want to be a designer, of course, the product is the pattern. And to become a pattern writer, it's humbling. It takes a lot of technical experience, although it's not daunting, then that's something we're going to be doing in the workshop. A lot of you guys watching right now, you're going to be in the workshop with me on Monday. And it's chunks. It's little baby steps, baby shawls, little babies, little shawl babies and baby steps. And then you look back and you're like, whoa, look what I did. Look where I am. And that's what it's all about. But before you even get there, you, as Tara says in the podcast episode, you figure out, you just do it. What makes you feel excited, and just do that and practice. Practice is what Tara says. Practice. And then start. Then start the marketing and start the Etsy shop and all those other things, because then you're going to be coming from a very clear place. And when you have a clear place, it's almost like the universe helps you to put things in motion, because you know exactly what you want. Okay. So, hey, Kim, nice to see you. And Melanie came back into the room. I think I said hello to you before, and yes, I did. And Melanie says I liked Tara's interview. Yeah. So anyway, so let's dive in a little bit into the book. Okay. So here it is. Map Your Business. And I picked this up. It's a signed copy, by the way, from Tara herself. You guys see that? So she signed my copy, and I got this at the CraftCon, Midwest CraftCon in Columbus, Ohio. And it was the first event that I went to when I had left creative knitting, and it was the first event as a solo person. I got the book, and I had a chance to talk to Tara, and we had a great conversation. And then I asked her to be on the podcast, and I took one of her live classes, and I talked a little bit about that in the episode early in the beginning, in the bonus version of the podcast, and just like what it's like to sit in one of her classes, because she really helps you understand things in a very linear fashion. So when this word, right here, map your business, that's Tara's kind of MO, it's like about creating maps. And this is a compilation of PDFs and, just a variety of materials that Tara used, she provided these for her students. And so a series of PDFs, and there's a lot of white space, a lot of white space in the book, because that's important, a lot of places for you to actually map out exactly what it is that you need to see. I don't know if you guys can see it, because it's bright. It's kind of washed out a little bit, the words, but I will show you a section that you will be able to see. It's where my little sticky note is, because I created some maps for myself. But the cool thing that I actually wanted to say, because it says map your business, but Tara makes it clear in the episode that this is for life and business, right? It's all about taking a holistic approach to everything we do. And holistic doesn't mean yoga and eating organic food. The word holistic refers to pulling everything together in your life in a complete way. You can't have your business separate from your life. And same thing with those of you that are working those day jobs. You can't. You need to integrate. What is your job? How does your job fit into your daily life, and how do you make it all work together so you have a sense of balance? Although there's no such thing as balance, but that's a whole other episode, isn't it? But to be okay with that, to be okay with the fact that you're just going to kind of juggle things around. But what Tara says, I think in the book she says it, but she does say it in the podcast episode that this book helps you to draw your universe. And that, I love that. I love that phrase. So I just had to mention that. So it's this book's going to help you to map out what your goals are with a series of exercises and white space, as I said. So it helps you to really get clear about what you want, because, if you want to start a business, you have to get clear so that you set that in motion. So, and then once you figure out, your course, this book's going to also show you how to do a quarterly review, which I really like. So to go back, I think a lot of books need to be, like workbooks. Most of my business books have writing, scribble, scrabble, whatever, because it is, they shouldn't be read and put on a shelf. Because I think that in order to put good use to a book that has information that you need to actually put into action, you need to use it like it's a workbook. Okay. So, So here we go. So, getting back to the chicken without the egg. So that's what I said earlier. So you can't have the chicken without the egg, guys. So before you go crazy on the Etsy shop, you got to think about what it is that you want, like I said before. So understanding what your product is. So if you don't want to design patterns, because I know a lot of you guys are taking the workshop because you want to learn how to design. But maybe that's not your goal. Maybe you want to use your passion for yarn crafting and start a podcast like I did. You want to encourage people, maybe you want to do a combination like I do. I teach workshops and I encourage people, and I talk to people that are in the yarn industry, people that I've associated with when I was the editor of Creative Knitting. So I'm lucky to have amassed this amazing group of friends. I like to call them friends, but these people that I've been that I've had business relationships with over the last 15 years, and I call them all my friends. I work with people that I like. And so, but anyway, so that's the thing that we really need to think about is getting clear, because once we actually know, then things come together, like the puzzle pieces start to fit. You know what I mean? And so speaking of my time as an editor, so I just wanted to kind of quickly talk about that a little bit, because from an editor's perspective, if you want to become a designer, that's the product, right? The pattern, I should say, is the product. And what goes into that? Like, what does it mean to actually to perfect that product? And the way that you do that, the bottom line is, if we want to distill this down to the very essentials, it is to write an exceptional pattern. Because the pretty swatches and the pretty drawings mean nothing if your pattern at the end is not realistic for a knitter. And I've seen this time and time again. With the magazine, I would have a pattern come through, beautiful, beautiful design, but the pattern on paper does not work. Or if it works, it would be extremely impractical and very hard for the end user to create, and maybe 6 pages in the magazine or more. And I will admit, there have been patterns I've taken chances on because they were really beautiful, but those were exceptions. But for the most part, those patterns are not going to be the patterns that mainstream knitters are really going to be interested in. So you also have to just sort of take yourself out of the equation. Of course, you should always design what you love and things that really get you excited. But you also have to think about who your end user is. Who's your customer? Is that person like you? Do you want to reach someone that has the same taste level as you? Because I think at the end of the day, we should be making things that excite us. And, we can infuse those things with a sense of history of who we are, add something a little bit quirky about ourselves. So I just wanted to add those 2 cents. And then I'm going to show you inside this book, but I see a few comments coming through. So I'm going to go back and check things out here. So, so Melanie says, hey, giveaway. But then I realized you were probably using your own copy. Yeah, exactly. And, I know I haven't done a giveaway for a long time, and I do have, I got some stuff in my stash. Let me tell you, I have amassed, like I said, there's that word again, amassed a huge collection of things over the years. So let me show you. So let's see. So another one from Melanie there. Melanie says, can you give examples? How complicated is too complicated? Well, I can explain verbally, but I could probably pull out my big gigantic stack of magazine, issues, creative knitting issues, and probably just page through and pinpoint the ones. But I'm just going to explain that too complicated might be, let's say it's a garment that has, like if it's something that needs to be charted, it's a very elaborate, very, very elaborate lace pattern that I can remember one time in the magazine, I had a lace pattern that took up an entire spread, like 2 pages. That's kind of impractical. And, that's one example that I could think of off the top of my head. But when it comes to garment construction, you have to study and look at, if we're talking magazine, right? If we're talking magazine here, study the publication and see exactly what is it that their customer, what is their customer like? What are you can tell by looking at the patterns, the skill level, how many easy patterns are in that magazine? Like what's the ratio to, easy, intermediate, and experienced? So in creative knitting, you'd find one experienced pattern in the entire issue. Because that's the other thing too. Pattern writing is it's an interesting thing because what you understand in your mind and when you put it down on paper may not come across to someone else that same way. And someone might think it's a mistake. And so that happens a lot. So it's very, very humbling. So if you do decide that you really are passionate about pattern design, you want to do this, then you've got the customer service side of the fence. And I'm just being pretty transparent about that. Sometimes you can deal with people that are very unhappy, but it's because they're frustrated and they are struggling. But once you clear it up, and you have to be willing to clear it up, and you have to be willing to go back to your pattern and make those corrections if there are corrections, and then people will be happy. And I've seen that time and time again. So Kim says, you are so encouraging. You definitely got me out of my comfort zone. I'm a mosaic knitter now. LOL. Yeah. So Kim, I saw that the other day. So you watched my mosaic video. Was it one of the creative knitting videos? One of the older videos they're probably still out there. I have so many videos. It's crazy pants. Was that one of the videos? I'm just curious because when I was going to ask you yesterday, but I forgot because I've been planning this workshop. So you guys, if it seems like I'm MIA, I apologize. I've been working my buns off. Yes. Oh, cool. So yes, Kim, that's the one that Kim watched. Yeah. So you guys, if you're into mosaic, go and check out Creative Knitting, creativeknittingmagazine.com, because there's an archive of videos that I created. It's crazy. There's so many years worth of videos in the archive for the magazine, but then the live videos. So maybe that was the one you looked at, that you watched, Kim, but either way, it doesn't matter. So we've got videos in the video Facebook live video archive over there in Creative Knitting. And then also if you go to creativeknittingmagazine.com, it was the 2000, okay, I'll put that on screen. Kim says it was the 2015 winter issue. So if you guys go to creativeknittingmagazine.com and then you go, I think you can, if I remember, you scroll down on the left-hand side of the website, you'll see video archives. And then you can see, if you open up that, you'll see the dates. It's and it's on YouTube. So YouTube, or you can go to the magazine website. Awesome. Okay, so I'm scrolling down a little bit, a few questions here. So Sue says, isn't it frustrating to try and become a designer when there are so many free patterns available on the internet? A good question, comment question, because yes, and that was challenging as a magazine editor as well. But here's where, this is a really great question, because here's where, Sue, and everyone else that's interested in this, you can differentiate yourself. It is about lifestyle. It's about you as the brand. What do you bring to the table? So here's something that I really try to infuse into Creative Knitting Magazine. We're going on another whole different topic, but kind of the same. This is why I love live video, you guys. So the last year or so, more than that probably, when I started to really realize that the free patterns were a problem, then the magazine, all the craft magazines were taking a hit. And what had to happen was, what is it that Creative Knitting could do, or any magazine could do, that the free patterns can't do? And so I started trying to tell stories. I wanted designers to tell their story. And I always tell you guys too, we've been talking about that from the beginning, telling your story, telling the pattern, what's the story behind the pattern. And then, so there would always be an accompanying tutorial or something that was behind that pattern, and so that you would walk through the pattern and envision it and see it just the way that the designer envisioned it. And that's something that I think is really important. So bottom line is to differentiate yourself. You're not just making a pattern and selling one-off patterns. I think those days are over. So when you think about what I've been doing here for you guys that are doing these challenges, and also the workshop that's coming up, yeah, you got a pattern. It's this pattern right here. It's a very basic pattern. It's a convertible pattern. People have done that before. I'm not recreating the wheel, although I am putting my spin on it. And I'm showing you how I envision a pattern, how I intuitively go into the design process. That's what I'm bringing to the table, and that's what I'm showing you. So the pattern is part of something much bigger and much more meaningful than just the pattern itself. So I hope that answered your question, Sue. So, all right. These are great, very, very great comments and questions that are coming through. So back to map your business. Great. So here, I'm going to show you my maps. You want to see that? So, oh, this was can you guys see this? Because my computer screen, it looks so bright. It looks so bright in here. So draw your universe. Remember I told you that before, that Tara said to, okay, good. Draw your universe. And then, okay, so you see on that side, there's my universe. Oh my gosh. And so, yeah, so I have my life in the middle. Do you see that, you guys? I'm going to kind of tilt it so maybe you can see it better. So my life, meditation, podcaster, writer, running, Dharma practice, because I love to meditate, podcast junkie, family. I love to cook delicious vegetarian dishes, nutrition, wellness, care for animals, environment, working out. Okay, so that's all my stuff. And then when you turn the page, there's another map. This one's crazy pants. You ready? Can you see it? Let's see. Tilt that a little bit. Oh my goodness. That's the podcast world. I have so many things. This was just my brain dump. Have you guys ever heard the phrase brain dump? I think you've heard me talk about brain dumps. And this is my brain dump right here. And I showed you guys a couple months ago how to work a mind map. And so you can see here, the podcast is the central circle, and then everything else radiates out of that, because the podcast for me is the driver for everything else. So I've got Patreon community, let's see, newsletter, guest posting, social media. Well, that's marketing, but I just sort of went crazy pants and wrote everything and anything that could come out of my head. And I wrote it all in pencil. And so anyway, so there's lots of white space. There's some white space here. And that's pretty much, as you can see. So what's a typical day is what that says. And that's what this book is about. And the thing that I appreciate about this particular book is that Tara encourages you to go through and do a quarterly review, so or a monthly review. And actually, she gives me advice in the episode because I was fresh out of the gate. Right, I'm still only 3 months since leaving Creative Knitting, so I'm like a baby. I'm just crawling. I'm just crawling right now, and hopefully, pretty soon I'll be running in my business. And so she gave me some advice, and this is advice that you guys can use too, because you can do, if you use this book for life, for business, holistic approach, create your maps. You can do a monthly review. You don't have to wait until the quarter to do it. So anyway, so that's a really good rundown on the book. So do you guys have any questions about this, about the podcast? It'll be up for 2 weeks. So Tara is going to be around. If you want to get this book, please feel free to use my affiliate link. I've got an affiliate link for you guys. So if you go to powerpearlspodcast.com/map your business, and you get your copy. So I'll put that in the agenda here so you can get it. Any questions, you guys? Please share away. Make sure I wrote that right. So there's the affiliate link. All right. So let's see. Kim jumped in there. Cal, like knit along and crochet alongs helps. Yes. We want more than just 3 or 4 sheets of paper with words. Yeah, exactly, Kim. Good point. Yeah, because anybody can do that. I'm not saying anybody, but if you've got the skills and you're a designer and you can design a pattern, right? Then yeah. So you're a dime. I hate to say it. I'm being so honest, being an editor, having been up that road. Knitwear designers are a dime a dozen. Designing pullovers, they're a dime a dozen. Everybody wants to design a sweater or a shawl, right? But what makes yours different? And as an editor of a magazine, I would see mostly sweaters come through and shawls, but very few cardigans. And there's a difference. So, the cardigan with the button front or a drapey front, not many designers want to design cardigans. That's just like a little hint for you that there are, few that want to do that. And magazines really like cardigan designs because they're much more practical than wearing a sweater, a pullover sweater, because even DK weight yarn in a sweater is hot for most women. And I learned that the hard way because I made this cowl neck DK weight. I mean, I can barely wear it. But when it comes to wearing a cardigan, you could take it off, put it on, take it on. Anyway, just a little tip for you guys. Let's see. So Melanie, what's the first step after making a few patterns? A website? So the first step after making a few patterns, so as long as you feel that those patterns are tech edited and ready to go, so I'm assuming that that's you've already gotten past that point where you've had a test knitter, you have samples, you've done a photo shoot, you've got just that imagery in place. A website, or or an Etsy shop, or some kind of an online presence. But you know what? Get that Instagram going, girl. That's what you need. You need the online portfolio. And man, when I think about the days when I started designing back 2002, when I first started designing, there was no such thing as Instagram. And nowadays, and I've seen this at trade shows, like when I go to the Needle Arts trade show every 6 months, I've been encouraging designers, people that I mentor, to show yarn companies that you want to work with. If you want to work with a yarn company or a magazine, just pull out your Instagram feed and show them, make it easy. It's the easiest way to make an impression. All right. So another one from Melanie. People are still willing to pay for patterns, and not all patterns are free. Some are paid for by yarn companies and put out for free. So not all patterns are free. And yes, this is true. This is true, Melanie. Although we are competing with the free patterns, And so it has become an issue. And anyone that's been in the industry for a while, since before this phenomena, like me, know that it has had an effect on yarn companies, on publishers, on designers that are selling patterns as their main product. So yeah, like anything, in mainstream, in the indie mainstream world, people use free. I mean, we had a challenge. People use challenges and other types of products, free patterns, to help launch another product. So they're giving away something really valuable. So that's the truth there. Something that people can use. And then they move into the paid premium product. But you got to be careful with how you use it. And in my opinion, I think that too many have taken that free route and used it more than maybe they should have. And now the industry is suffering. But I believe that we are cycling back because I see that people are doing things differently. Like me, like others out there, we're recreating, we're reimagining, and you guys can do this too, reimagining what it means to be a fiber business. Okay? Yeah. So that's what it comes down to. And so that's it, you guys. This has been really awesome. So if you have not joined the Power Pearls community yet, for anyone watching that, is here for the first time, you can go to powerpearlspodcast.com/community to join. So you guys, this was fun, and I'm looking forward to the workshop. The workshop's coming up Monday. I will be putting out information on the newsletter list, the list for the workshop. So for those of you who are my $5 and up patrons, make sure that you sign up for the list, because that's the only way that you're going to know what's going on. And that's the only way that you're going to know that it's time to sign up to be a part of that group. Okay. So you guys got to read these things. Okay. Read what's going on, stay in the loop, because there will be a new Facebook group. All right. So let's see. So you guys, Kim says on pins and needles waiting for the workshop. So Jennifer has one. I'm just going to go real quick, and then I'm going to have to say goodbye. And oh, hi, Elisa. I see that you came in late. So Jennifer says, would you say there is a standard to uphold for the pricing? I think $6 to $7 for tops and shawls seems to be the going rate. What do you think? Yes, that is the going rate. $5 to $7 is definitely the going rate. And I've seen it lower than that as well for smaller accessories like small scarves and hats. But yes, that is the going rate. So you're right on track with that, Jennifer. So thanks for asking. All right, you guys. So you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the podcast and see you at the workshop too. All right. Bye.